Did Russia shoot down a civilian plane and cover it up? On December 25th, an Azerbaijani jet crashed in Kazakhstan, killing 38 and injuring 29. But here's the shocking twist. Reports suggest Russian air defenses hit the plane, mistaking it for a Ukrainian drone. Instead of letting it land, Russia allegedly forced it to fly hundreds of kilometers across the Caspian Sea, leading to the deadly crash. Shrapnel damage confirms an attack, but Moscow blames fog and birds, reminiscent of the 2014 Malaysia MH17 cover-up. How long can this lie hold? Subscribe for exclusive updates as this story develops. On Christmas Day, 2024, Finland seized the Russia-linked tanker Eagle S, suspected of sabotaging the Estlink 2 undersea cable that distributed electricity between Finland and Estonia. But that's not all. Sources reveal the vessel was equipped with high-tech spying equipment. The ship, part of Russia's so-called Dark Fleet, was loaded with devices to monitor NATO naval activity, including transmitting and receiving equipment to track frequencies of NATO ships and aircraft. Even more shocking, it dropped sensor devices in the English Channel. This is the second attack on NATO cables in 2 months, and the first time a commercial ship has been detained for sabotage. The Eagle S is connected to a network of tankers linked to Putin's war machine. Subscribe for more breaking news on global conflicts and their covert operations. A Ukrainian F-16 fighter jet, one of Kyiv's prized NATO-supplied aircraft, has reportedly been shot down by Russian air defenses over the Zaporizhzhia region. Russian officials claim the jet was intercepted at its launch site, though conflicting reports suggest it was either preparing a missile strike or had just conducted one. If confirmed, this marks only the second verified loss of an F-16 since Ukraine received them in August, and the first directly attributed to Russian fire. These jets, vital to Ukraine's defense, have been a top target for Moscow, with bounties of $145,000 offered for their destruction. How will this impact the escalating conflict? Subscribe for the latest updates on this evolving war. Ukraine's President Zelensky has accused Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico of opening a second energy front against Ukraine. This comes after the NATO leader met Vladimir Putin in Moscow, where they discussed the expiration of Ukraine's gas transit deal with Russia. This agreement was reached prior to the 2022 invasion and is set to expire with the new year. Slovakia has hinted it might halt electricity supplies to Ukraine if gas transit is disrupted, a move Zelensky says directly aids Russia and threatens Ukraine's energy security. These developments follow months of Russian strikes targeting Ukraine's energy infrastructure, compounding the crisis. As winter's cold settles across Ukraine, what's next in this escalating dispute? Subscribe for critical updates. A Catholic priest in Belarus, Reverend Henryk Akalatovich, has just been sentenced to 11 years in prison for high treason, the first case of its kind since Belarus gained independence in 1991. Arrested in November 2023, the 64-year-old priest criticized President Alexander Lukashenko's regime in his sermons. Despite battling cancer, Akalatovich has been held incommunicado, even denied basic necessities. This comes as Lukashenko tightens his grip ahead of the January 26th presidential election, widely expected to extend his 30-year rule. Over 1,200 political prisoners, including dozens of clergy, face similar fates under his oppressive regime. Comment your thoughts on this development below and subscribe for updates on the conflict in Eastern Europe. In a stunning development, Russia and Ukraine swapped over 300 prisoners in a dramatic exchange just before New Year's Eve, brokered by the UAE. Ukraine brought home 189 citizens, including 87 soldiers, 24 Navy personnel, and 2 civilians, many of whom endured years of brutal captivity, facing torture, malnourishment, and even amputations. On the other side, 150 Russian prisoners captured during Ukraine's summer Kursk offensive were returned. This is the 11th prisoner swap of 2024, adding to over 1,300 Ukrainians freed this year alone. Yet thousands remain in captivity as both nations brace for what's next. Don't miss crucial updates on this war. Subscribe now for the latest. Russia launched 21 missiles and 40 drones overnight on December 30th, targeting Kyiv and Sumy oblasts. A woman in Kyiv Oblast was injured by debris, and strikes in Sumy damaged homes, schools, and healthcare facilities. Ukraine's Air Force intercepted 6 missiles and 16 drones, while 24 decoys failed to hit targets. This comes amid intensified Russian attacks over the holidays. On December 25th, Moscow launched a massive assault with 78 missiles and 106 drones. Despite the festive season, Ukraine faces relentless destruction. Stay informed on the evolving conflict in 2025. Subscribe for daily updates. Ukraine struck an oil depot in Russia's Smolensk Oblast on December 31st, igniting powerful explosions and fires at the facility, which supplies the Russian military. The attack, confirmed by Ukraine's armed forces, involved special operations and unmanned systems forces. This follows a string of recent drone strikes targeting Russian oil infrastructure. On December 22nd and December 14th, Ukrainian drones hit an oil depot in Oriol, causing significant fires. Earlier, on December 11th, a pipeline near Bryansk was also set ablaze. Comment below how you think these strikes will affect the war going into 2025. Stay informed. Subscribe for more updates. Ukrainians living in Kyiv heralded the new year with air raid sirens and cries of defiance as drones swarmed their skies. Kyiv's mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, confirmed that 2 floors of a residential building were obliterated, leaving at least 6 wounded. Firefighters battled through smoke and flames to rescue elderly victims. Ukraine's Air Force reported shooting down 63 of 111 drones launched by Russia overnight, with 46 others disabled by electronic jamming. First Deputy Prime Minister Yulia Sviridenko condemned the strike, stating, "Russian aggression knows no holidays or days off." As the Ukraine-Russia war enters its 3rd year, 2025 shows no indications of a cease in hostilities. Follow for updates. Russian gas has ceased flowing to Europe through Ukraine's pipeline network. The 5-year agreement between Gazprom, Russia's state-owned energy company, and Ukraine ended at 5 a.m. GMT on Wednesday. This arrangement had facilitated the transport of Russian gas through Ukraine to other European nations. Ukraine opted not to extend the transit agreement, which has been in place in various forms since 1991. President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that Russia would no longer be allowed to profit billions from our blood. While this move does not halt all Russian gas supplies to Europe, it significantly limits them. Gas can still reach Europe through the Turk Stream pipeline, but bypassing Ukraine will reduce EU imports by roughly 14 billion cubic meters. Subscribe for updates. Terror filled Bourbon Street in the early morning hours of New Year's Day after a terrorist drove his truck, with an ISIS flag on the back, into crowds, leaving at least 15 dead and 35 hurt. The FBI confirmed that 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar was the deceased suspect, adding that he was a U.S. citizen and military veteran from Texas. A spokesperson on the behalf of the FBI is quoted as saying, "Weapons and a potential IED were located in the subject's vehicle. Other potential IEDs were also located in the French Quarter. The FBI's special agent bomb technicians are working with our law enforcement partners to determine if any of these devices are viable, and they will work to render those devices safe." Subscribe for updates. History is made again in Ukraine's relentless defense of its sovereignty. On Tuesday, Ukrainian military intelligence dropped a bombshell, literally, revealing that their Magura V5 naval drone took out a Russian Mi-8 helicopter and damaged another one over the Black Sea. This daring strike marks the first time a Ukrainian naval drone has successfully downed an air target, according to Ukraine's GUR spy agency. Meanwhile, in Crimea, the Russia-appointed governor of Sevastopol, Mikhail Razvodjaev, claimed on Telegram that Russian forces destroyed 2 sea drones and shot down 4 UAVs attacking the city overnight. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. The Ukrainian armed forces delivered a powerful and precise strike on a Russian army command post in Mariino, Kursk Oblast, as reported by Ukraine's General Staff on January 2nd. This operation was aimed at crippling Russia's capacity and determination to launch terrorist acts against Ukrainian civilians, the General Staff stated, emphasizing that all necessary precautions were taken to safeguard nearby civilians. While the exact weapon used remains undisclosed, the strike dealt a devastating blow to Russia's 810th Brigade, inflicting significant losses. Andriy Kovalenko, head of Ukraine's Counter-Disinformation Center, hailed the attack as a major success in Ukraine's ongoing defense against Russian aggression. Subscribe for updates. 130,000 Ukrainian refugees living in Slovakia are at risk of having their financial aid cut off. Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico threatened the move amid a growing dispute with Ukraine over Russian gas supplies. On January 1st, Kyiv shut down a pipeline that had supplied Russian natural gas to Central Europe for decades, a move Fico called sabotage. Slovakia, once a key transit hub, now risks losing millions in fees. The UNHCR estimates 130,000 Ukrainian refugees currently reside in Slovakia out of 7 million globally. Fico, who visited Moscow in December for talks with President Vladimir Putin, has proposed sharply reducing support for Ukrainians seeking refuge in the country. What are your thoughts on this move? Subscribe for updates. Vladimir Putin ordered his government and the country's largest bank, Sberbank, to deepen cooperation on artificial intelligence development with China. Putin's order tasks both the government and Sberbank, which is spearheading Russia's AI initiatives, to ensure further cooperation with the People's Republic of China in technological research and development in the field of artificial intelligence. Sanctions have severely impacted Russia's AI ambitions, as global microchip producers have halted exports to the country. The US currently dominates in AI development, but in December, Putin announced the formation of a new AI alliance network aimed at uniting specialists from BRICS nations and other interested countries. Subscribe for updates.